Good afternoon. So, I was actually going through a little moment um, and decided to make a video. So, I'm not necessarily having a bad day, but it's kind of heavy. Um, there's a lot of fear involved in the day. So, I just had to communicate with a potential job. Don't have one right now, so that can be scary. I am coordinating travel arrangements for my father to come and help fix my car because both of my cars are out of commission. And it's just, financial fears. And then also, um, I am having to figure out and navigate like when to get my kids. Um, since school isn't fully starting and the whole coronavirus is going on, they're with their father for the summer and they have care there because he is an essential worker, so they're able to go to the YMCA and things like that. When they're with me, they don't have those benefits, and so just kind of figure out, when would be the best time to get them, since they will be online school for a little bit. And I stopped and I listened to, it's on YouTube and it's Fantasia. It's an interview with Fantasia Barrino and Avery Sunshine. And I listened to this song, I have been listening to this song for years whenever I feel overwhelmed. And I'm still a little like I said, I jumped on to make a video in the middle of it. But whenever I'm feeling like fearful or have anxiety or whatever it may be, I'll listen to that song and it calms me down. It helps me have a little bit of perspective and I can move on and carry on. And so I felt God told me the other day to move forward. And I have been in this position of just like a standstill, um, with, having a certain amount of resources and then having, these options that could potentially arise, and they're not necessarily, not wanting to make certain decisions or moves or spend certain money and different things without having these things certain or solidified, like a job and a car and other things. So I was listening to that song, and what I wanted to talk about was transmutation. So it seems like, um, I don't know, like super scientific or something like that. But honestly, transmuting things, when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling afraid, when you're feeling low, when you're angry, when you're upset, no matter what has happened to you, the best thing that you can do is transmute the energy. Excuse me. And while I was listening to the song, and of course, when I'm listening to that song, I'll play it on repeat. I just close my eyes and I just kind of like feel the uplifting nature of the song and the words. And I was just realizing like I'm transmuting my energy right now. That's what I'm doing. Like I get I'm empathic and I'm a highly sensitive person, so I feel things very deeply. I can be an overthinker, and I can really put myself into a state of just anxiousness. I don't think that I don't share. It's not something that I share. I don't think it's something that other people really see. People really perceive me to be very high. It's a high functioning, but I would say high functioning, anxiety that I have that kind of propels me to do other things. But transmuting that energy is to take something negative and turn it into a positive. Take that fear of all these things that are going on, and instead of focusing on what's going to happen if this doesn't work, or what'll happen if that doesn't work, or what'll happen if this person does this thing or that thing, and being stuck or stagnant, to go ahead and believe that everything is going to be okay. Like, honestly believe that and sit down and kind of think about all the times that it has been okay. All the the obstacles that I have overcome, all the things that I have been able to get through and move past. And I'm upset right now because I feel like there's something that's happening that I'm having to do that again with. So um, I am divorced, and during my divorce, there was a custody battle, but the custody battle, it was really an attempt to like just discredit me, to harm me, to kind of separate me from my kids, and I really don't understand why that is. And it's been 5 years, and in those 5 years, I'm very accommodating. I'm very open. I'm very receptive to communications and suggestions, and I desire to have like a co-parenting relationship and just peace and harmony. I'm really like a easygoing person, but I was definitely in an abusive relationship. Um, Definitely had to go to counseling and different things, and definitely had to realize that I was with somebody that was classified as a narcissist, a sociopathic narcissist at that. And I still hope for things to be okay, but I also realize that when we're going through things and you have someone who wants to tear you down or who wants to have power over you in some way, or um, and a lot of times that's I think that's what I attribute it to. It's honestly a power struggle. Like they want, and then the things that they do to acquire power seems to be kind of like draining you of yours or hurting you. So right now, um, when I said I was trying to navigate, and I'm sharing this because it's the book of Brandy, and I figure might as well just share stuff real life, real time, because it goes on. And I'm gonna make this short because my battery's about to die. But you know, as I'm trying to navigate how to manage this stuff, and co-parent in the midst of it, I'm being attacked to where, this person won't talk to me on the phone just to have a conversation about like what's going on, what we're gonna do. There's not a we at all. So my intentions or my thoughts on how to navigate the situation with me and their father to like kind of manage what's going on, those ideas are non-existent because this person won't communicate with me. And outside of text messages, and that's not the most efficient way to communicate with the nature of the situation. And so after that, now there are, I'm going to be taking, like, almost as if I'm recording your phone calls, and if they're going to, if the kids are going to need to stay here longer than a specific time period or whatever, then I'm going to take you to court. It's like, why? And it's very, like, combative, and I can always feel the energy. It makes me sick to my stomach when someone is just attempting to kind of harm me in some way. So I wanted to transmute that energy. So that's just my little story of the day, and I actually feel better, and I will move forward. And God told me to move forward, which means to utilize the resources that I have in my possession now to be clear and sober minded. So um, for me, that's like just be waking up, getting enough sleep, drinking water. Honestly, for real, like, excuse me, not smoking, not drinking anything. It's kind of being pure and able to accomplish every little task that I have to accomplish. So I also work in where I do a lot of like administrative type tasks, and so sometimes it can be overwhelming and it can build. I have a lot of writing things I have to do, and then I'm dealing with like personal emotional issues and fear based things. So just being clear minded, being sober minded, and moving forward, and transmuting the energies. And sometimes it's also good to meditate. So you can do this by listening to a song. You can do this by honestly just meditating, finding like a guided meditation on YouTube that will clear your energy, and kind of just give you a clear palette to work on, and go through the things in your past that God has come through on. If you've literally, a lot of times we have miracles and don't really even realize it was a miracle, or look back on it like it was a miracle. But write down those things, go through a mental inventory of those things that have happened, and take a breath, breathe, stop, and transmute the energy.